The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. Let's do this. Down. Three's the mic. Henry, check 53.
Coming for you.
Switch. Check it hot read.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On second down now, it's Carson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first down, Carson. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down.
Watch the slant.
Mike.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 39. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Pick it up.
Check 52. Slam.
From the gun, Jackson. That's complete to Marlon Mack. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 27-yard line.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Jackson throwing here complete to Boyle. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
They'll run here with Mack, and he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The last run got 3. Now here's second and 7.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Here's Mack. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Now a carry from Mack. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Flushed. And it's 6 points for the Baltimore Ravens. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Let's go.
Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Tim Patrick that time, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Here we go. Set. 90 Wolf.
59. I know he ain't got it.
Let's go.
Throwing his Lock on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now it's Crowder. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. First carry now for Gus Edwards. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 7-yard line. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
They'll run here with Mack. Oh, and Mack has the ball stripped. It's picked up by the Broncos. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 20. And oh, at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver.
That's our ball, baby. Going the other way.
How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well.
And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson with his second touchdown in this opening quarter as the Ravens push further out in front. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Ready.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the first quarter play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Stay with your man. Kill. Greystone, travel. Golf. Big river.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lock. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Crowder now to return.
Jamison
Get
Crowder
ready.
on the return.
Get ready.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Darius Leonard, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Watch the screen. Joker.
They go play action with Jackson. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That's a 1st down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Ready?
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
Let's bring it. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Go.
Throwing now is locked. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line.
At the 13-yard line.
Hey, 25's the mic. We're going 25's the mic. Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go. Check. Check hot route. Hot, hot. He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Jack Rabbit. Jack Rabbit. He's late.
A little jet sweep to start the drive.
Run, run, run.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
He wasn't ready.
So many play callers in the red zone worry about the negative effects of a play that they're about to call. But this guy, all he's worried about is gaining yardage and putting the ball in the hands of his playmakers.
On the double. 53, Mike. He's scared. Wide.
On second down, it's Edwards. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards, his first touchdown on the year. As the Ravens push further out in front. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly. The offensive line, right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 21-0.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down, a run with Lindsey. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
It's 3rd down and 4.
The Broncos on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there.
Run to the ball. Fly to the ball. Run.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Come on.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Man, I got you. Let's go.
Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make, but they also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes two to tango. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Locke to throw. He completes this to Sutton. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They look to throw. It's Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
On 3rd down, Locke. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And now look at him go. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Hey, here he is. Touchdown, baby. Keep it rolling.
That pick 6 extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the 2nd half.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Locke and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And Freeman lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's Marlon Mack. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's going to be caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there at 22. They come out here in the eye.
Check 53's Mike. All you get is a headache. All you get is a
They'll look to run with Edwards. Oh, he breaks. And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
61, Max, go.
Block again here on 2nd and 10. And this one's incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
He'll get this one to Patrick. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Got it.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Hey, they're scared.
Block off a play action. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season
December.
of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
3rd and long.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
I don't think you got it. Take over.
Play action. Now Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Down.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Locke will try again on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
Let's go now.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
Get it.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
At the 7-yard line.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. After the interception, here's Jackson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Marquise Brown, incomplete. Now 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line.
No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. He's going to air one out. He's got a man. Complete. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down.
And that one hurts defensively. They force him into third and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3-and-out. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 23. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
On the ball.
Back to the air on second down. It's Locke. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. Locke going to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin, and the Ravens are going to get the football back. The D brought the house, they called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they all...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Here's Jackson. And the pressure gets to him again. Von Miller, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And now he'll turn, and off his back foot, he'll heave it. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Throwing again. Locke. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Patrick. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Tim Patrick with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Broncos are in for 6. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, able to avoid him. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. On 2nd and 10, Jackson. They'll run the screen with Mack. Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marlon Mack, 78 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Let's go. Let's do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
Down.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, Sue. Ready?
Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And some space here. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 49 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a run with Mack. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marlon Mack, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark, some.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Another try after the first down sack. Lock. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15. And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happened.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. And a touchdown there to help them expand the lead.
All you're looking for is as much separation between you and the other team as possible. They've got to feel good about what that touchdown gives them.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
56, Broncos 9.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Ready.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again. Lock. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Here's Locke. He sets to fire deep. And this is caught at the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Tim Patrick with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Broncos are able to at least make things a bit more respectable. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere, seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Ooh, with a juke. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Check 56.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
36, 30. Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip. Watch the shift. Watch the shift. Let it go.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. It's caught at the 10. A big play that time for the Ravens. 48 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Jackson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Locke and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. On 2nd down, it's Mack. He's got the first down inside the 10, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 21-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
Justin Tucker lining up.
Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from.
And this is caught at the 20. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20.
Hey, orbit.
Watch the backer, watch the backer.
Hard, on the ball. Five.
Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. He's going to fire one deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. It's a gain of 34. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Locke. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Clock now to throw. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
You ain't got nothing.
Throwing his Lock on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Tavon Young. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8. Eight. The last time we saw 7, 2001, right? Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 2nd down now, it's Mack. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he's got some space here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 27. They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. On 3rd down, Jackson. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And down inside the 15 he goes. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run with Mack. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. They go right back to Mack. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
After the sack on 1st down, Locke.
You got nothing.
That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Incomplete. Coverage there by Earl Thomas.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Let's make these go.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And they're going to go for this. Just 1 for 3 so far on 4th down tries. They're trying again. To throw it is Locke. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one has gone as time has run out on this ball game.
Broncos 15.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Ravens, the win moves them to 8-7 now.